Hello everyone, Ted Clayton here. On this video, I want to take a different approach. What I want to do is leave the floor open for people to respond, share their experiences, questions, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that way I can get an idea of what some people are going through and give my 2 cents. So specifically, it's taller men, right? Now, I saw this telegram from Milo Yiannopoulos. Now, I've talked about Milo a few times on, I mentioned them on a few videos, so I don't want to give off the impression that I'm trying to, that I have a thing against them or anything like that. I actually follow their Telegram. I've actually been following them for some time. So I just run into this stuff. So I just use it as subject matter to talk on and just kind of just leap, frog from that, just kind of jump off from that. But also, I don't want to mention them too much because I recognize that I'm not really getting any attention from speaking on their telegrams. So, I'll mention them on the actual video, but maybe not the title because it's just not working. So, I mean, look, a short man in this world, I definitely want to bring the numbers up on the subscribers, the views, things like that. I definitely want to fatten my pockets. Now, not at the expense of someone else. That is off the table, but definitely would like to, come up, in this situation. I would definitely like to make some money. But at the same time, it is kind of something where you have this desire to expand, but you also don't want to get a lot of attention. Like I've seen that in a lot of blackpill videos where people are like, man, why is this not getting, more views, more exposure? And it's like, well, it's kind of not supposed to. So, that's that. Okay. So this is a telegram that I seen last week, and I'm just going to read it. And again, just share my thoughts on it. And again, just leave the floor open. So the telegram reads, I had to Google Joe Kent. Now, I don't know, just to put this out there, I don't know who this individual is. I know a lot of people have been talking about them, like Nick Fuentes and other conservatives, right of center people. They've been talking about them, but I haven't been following them. I just been seeing the tweets, just been surveying the topic, but I haven't really looked into it. Even Milo himself didn't know who they were. So that goes to show you that someone new on the scene, I guess, relatively. So this is not about this individual at all, at least in this case. So it says, I had to Google, and just again, to just put this out there, I say this all the time, but more specifically when it matters, I'm in a public office or public setting right now, here in New York City, Times Square, more specifically. So I just want to be mindful of the words I'm using, because I do like to project myself in these videos, but also I don't want to get any unnecessary attention. So I think people will be able to follow along. However, okay, so let's see, what was I getting at? Lost my train of thought a bit, but I'm just going to keep going. All right, so it says, I had to Google Joe Kent because honestly, who has time to keep track of these dull, grasping, and predictably treacherous pygmies? Okay, now, pygmies, as some people may already know, I had to look it up. I guess it's like a dwarf from ancient Greece, something like that. But it's basically someone or creature that's diminutive. Okay, now we're gonna break this apart just really quickly, but concisely. One is, again, I stress this in my videos, where when there's a perception like this, all this has to do with perception, right? When there's a perception like this, with taller men, more specifically, this becomes a clear and present danger because they're walking around with this idea every single day, right? And this is the first thought that comes to their mind. This is the filter that they're looking at you through. And the thing is, And I'm not sure, I know definitely indirectly just amongst men, I'm using that in layman terms, but amongst men, uh, I guess, how would you say, well, whatever. Um, on some level, on a subconscious level, I think there's an understanding of the difference in stature and what that means. Of course, with men, all conversations can ultimately lead to violence or something physical. So there's always that understanding in the background, at least hopefully. So men always are working with that in mind when they're engaging with another man, right? Now, with this, I I haven't looked this up, but I wonder if at a certain point, if at a certain difference, legally by the book, there a certain act or certain action that a taller person, a bigger person may take toward a more diminutive person becomes assault by the book, right? Um, and at that certain point in time, their body, their physical body, can be labeled as a weapon, sort of like with boxers, where once they reach a certain status, um, they have to legally register their hands, their physical hands. So I would say, I would think that at a certain point with men, bigger men, in a court of law, um, someone's body can be actually seen as and labeled as a weapon, right? Okay, so let's just keep that out there, right? And people are walking around with these filters. Okay, all right. And again, the way I want to make this video is so that people can just, I want to leave the floor open so that people can tell me their experience. I can use my imagination. I just want to take this time to just put this out there. Again, we're in a time of schism, great schism. Although, yes, there is some unification. There's some unifying going on. It is something where, in the grand scheme of things, we kind of have to go through this period to then see a better outcome, a better tomorrow. So this is what we're going through right now. So I want to leave the floor open just so people can tell me. And probably some people probably not going to see this, but again, just putting it out there on the internet. Share the video. Share this with a friend, family member, and let them know to watch it. So and then they can give their 2 cents if they want to. They can share their stories, their experiences if they want to. Okay. So now, another thing that I want to, and forgive me, I'm kind of a little all over the place right now, but just want to throw this out there just to get the point across. So that's one point. I think I had another point. It's somewhere in the ether. We'll probably get it or not, but again, I think we are on the same page. The next thing is word choice, right? So let's just kind of put the whole leaving this video open for discussion. Let's now just put that behind us. That was the main proposition, the main the aim, the goal for this video was to really just leave the flow open, not even trying to deduce what's possibly happening, maybe happening, reasons, a rationale, opinions, anything, perspectives. It's let me leave the floor open so people can talk. Now, what I can say as being someone in that unfavored class, in that unfavored group, I understand the sentiment. I may not take the same actions as these individuals, but that doesn't mean that I haven't told someone about themselves. That doesn't mean that I haven't put the spotlight on someone. That doesn't mean that, but I know where the line. So that's me personally. That's why am I going to cross the line, escalate certain situations when it's not really worth it. And sometimes you do feel that. You have to, what's the word I'm looking for? You have to respect that feeling, but it's now, I know what this is going to lead to. So I can kind of, maybe this episode may be fun. For me, it's fun, when people try to, just violate and, I kind of put them in there, put the spotlight on them and neutralize the situation. And when people are looking, that's definitely fun for me, but it is exhausting. So anyway, just wanted for the main the main goal of this is to leave the floor open so people can share with me their thoughts. Okay, taller men, share with me their thoughts. Let me, what have you going through? Why do you feel this way? Because I have people, I'll be walking in the street and I have people just give me these dirty looks. I don't know them. And that's the thing. Once a person projects onto an individual they don't know, that's bigotry flat out. End story, case closed. So, I have had some experiences, or they can be a thing where once you talk to someone, and the thing right now with, I'm getting into a bigger ontological kind of framework, but the thing right now is a lot of people, I feel like, especially in this chaotic time, they either do not know how to heal or do not want to heal. So that's kind of that. But sometimes when you get through to somebody, they kind of snap out of it, and I've seen that happen a lot. So that's that. So I want to leave the floor open so people could just talk, and then the internet is there to give their 2 cents, and then I can give my 2 cents, but it's there on the internet. Okay, so that's that. Now, the second thing is the biggest thing on this Telegram right here, and it's word choice. The thing with word choice, it's something I've always been aware of, or at least just something that's gotten my attention, but it wasn't until recently that, I would say, 4 or 5 years ago, recently that I started to actually pay attention, etymology, but more so just the essence of a word, right? And one of I got into a period of self-help, like self-help audiobooks, and one of the main people that I listened to a lot was Louise L. Hay, all right? So I have an audiobook here on Google Drive. No, this is not stolen. This is not ripped. It's not pirated. Oh, yeah, there might be a handful of things that I might pirate, but I'm older now. I don't really do that. So, I'll just find it cheap if I can. So it's an audiobook that I have. It was a UCD, I think. It's called The Power of Your Spoken Word. So this right here it validated, but also changed how I looked at how people speak. One of the biggest things that she mentions, and anyone who knows Louise L. Hay knows the biggest thing she emphasizes above all is do not use the word should. She even says should be thrown away out of the English language, out of the dictionary. So that's a whole nother topic. But the thing is, a lot of people don't know the words that they're using, so they say anything, and these things have an effect on us, but also it's something where, you got someone like Milo Yiannopoulos, yeah, he could be, this is someone from the upper class and well-educated. So maybe he isn't, and I was speaking about being mindful, I'm talking very loud in this space, but I'm worked up, so that's that. It's too late for that. But anyway, I try to tone it down from moving forward. Someone like this is well-educated. Maybe they're not aware of how the words are coming across, but they definitely know the meaning of the word. So let's go to Merriam-Webster's dictionary and let's look up these words, right? So, okay. And I do want to bring a second point before I wrap this up, just to, again, to really solidify this whole perception thing and how dangerous it is. Again, like I said, we have big and tall men who can physically be dangerous, and then we have another group of people, and I'm gonna get to that in a second. So, okay. Again, the Telegram says I had to Google Joe Kent because, honestly, who has time to keep track of these dull, grasping, and predictably treacherous pygmies? And I also want to put a side note. I've been going through this thing. I've noticed it. I've seen it on TikTok where it's this meme or whatever going around, this hashtag where this guy saying, if you're 6 feet and under, don't talk to me. And I've seen this in real life. I've seen this at my job. I work with a lot of people that are in the underclass. Let's just say that, right? And there'll be these really, really tall guys that'll pass by me, right? We'll pass by the aisles, like, whoa, it's narrow aisle, we're passing by each other. And you can tell when you look at their face that they are forcing themselves not to make eye contact with me. And it's so weird, so weird. So it's like, this is where it's like, I'm leaving the floor open. So, okay, really weird. And you're trying to work, it's like, what's going on here? Okay, so I'm on merriam-webster.com. Let's look up the first word, which is dull. Now, dull is pretty self-explanatory, but I'm gonna actually look up the exact word. So it's dull is tedious, uninteresting, lacking sharpness of edge or point, cloudy, stupid, sluggish, etc., etc. Okay. Now, see, this is a thing where it's, do you know me? Again, to project this out there, I don't have a problem with people reserving themselves, and they may see a pattern which may be correct. And like I said, I can understand where the sentiment of this unfavorable group. I can understand that, but so again, I can understand the reservation. But now, when that turns into action, that's different. Okay, let me just share a quick story. I remember when I was working at my last job. I was working an overnight shift one time. My boss had wanted me to work overnight for just randomly. And I was working with this one guy overtime. We started, we had built rapport. And I'm playing this rap album that just came out. Some hardcore rap, hardcore East Coast rap, right? And it was, I don't even want to name the artist, but it was a very popular East Coast artist, right? And I'm playing the music. I'm at the register. It's my coworker. Let's see. You do a time check. All right, we're past 15 minutes, so I'm gonna wrap this up. It's me and my coworker, and then it's this gentleman, right? And again, it's underclass setting, and also underclass environment. So I'm there, and then the gentleman, the customer that comes up, they're like, "Whose music is that?" We all know who the artist is, and I said, "Whose music is that?" And my coworker goes like this. There you go. So, kind of basically the signal, yeah, it's that guy. The guy that looks unassuming, it's that guy. He's hip to it. So it's like, how do you know? You get what I'm saying? You're throwing this out there, right? Okay. So that's that. And I will tell you this, in my new job, all the music that people play sucks. All of it. So, okay. It was playing like music that's just like, it's kind of like it was popular, top 40, but it's like, I don't even want to get into that. Okay, so it's dull, then grasping, right? Now, I didn't know what this word meant. Like, of course, I knew what grasp meant, to hold something, but I didn't know what grasping meant. Okay, so again, Merriam-Webster, this is number 2. Desiring material possessions urgently and excessively and often to the point of ruthlessness. You don't know me. Okay, now the next one is treacherous. Now this is a thing, right? I didn't know that last word, right? Treacherous, I know the word, but sometimes again, you would know a word. Now this is speaking for me. I went to a top tier university, but even me, sometimes I may forget the actual definition of what the word means. Treacherous just means bad, but it's a negative connotation, but what does it actually mean? Okay, treacherous. And again, it's with these words and the perception that's being put out there, the narrative that's being put out there, these things can stick. So that's where, where it becomes an issue. And again, the person, someone like this, someone like Milo, they're educated, so they may know, but they may not be, they may not even care of the actual words that are sticking out there. So that's the thing. Okay, so treacherous means, let's say, number 1A, B, C, likely to betray trust. Let's see, B, excuse me, B, providing insecure footing or support. C, marked by hidden dangers, hazards, or perils. Not really. Number 2, characterized by or manifesting treachery. So let's see. Perfidious. Let's look at what perfidious means. Of or relating to, let's see. Of or relating to perfidy. Hopefully I said that correctly. I think I did.
Perfidy.
An act or instance of disloyalty. Okay, same difference. All right. That's a strong claim. It's a very strong claim. Okay, so we're just going to leave that one out there. Again, allowing people to express themselves, say what they want to say, but I'm leaving the floor open. Now, let me just end it with one final note, and this one's going to be very brief. The Telegram, that was, and taller men, I really wanted to talk to you guys. But now, this is where when I'm talking to and I really made it specifically for that audience. But now this is more talking to a broader audience, right? This is where it's strictly black pill, just getting, putting things out there, right? Okay, this is a recent recent statistic that just came out. I believe it was, I saw it through Aaron Cleary's channel, Asshole Consulting. He got it from, I believe, Rollo Tomasi. And it's this, I'm going to put the link in the description to the tweet where I believe it originated from. But they got it from Rollo Tomasi, and then they started talking about it. And it's the whole thing with women using the height filter on Tinder. Really, does it say Tinder? No, this is Bumble. Excuse me. This is Bumble stats. And this is something that I just thought of, right? And I'm going to put the tweet in there. You guys can see it for yourself. It's so ridiculous, right? And we're not going to get into the conversation, right? But what I started thinking about with this is, it's interesting how, and this is not attacking, right? I mean, am I upset or am I a little frustrated? Absolutely, but it's not attacking. This is just an observation, right? It's interesting how the opposite sex, they will hear you say, make these claims. I'm not sure about anyone else. If they are feeling a little, if they're coming, not even coming off, if they are actually misogynistic or not. Have I brushed up against that sentiment? Absolutely, but it comes and goes because it's not really my orientation, right? I will share my thoughts. I will share my experiences, and what response I get. You're insecure, et cetera, et cetera. We know the drill, right? We know the script. Okay. Now you see this, and these are actual filters that people are putting in or dialing in on their app. Did they not think that information was not going to be available? I don't want to say made public, but available. The math is right there. The science, statistics are right there. And what was I just going to say? I just had a point and I just lost it. But I had a really good point. I just lost it. So I just find that interesting where it's these people are putting in these settings, but then will go out and tell you otherwise. And again, it's whatever their inclination is, the opposite sex, that's different. But then it's like, but what's going on here? You get what I'm saying? Shit, I really had a good point. What was I going to say? You know what? I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to keep going. But what I find interesting about this is, that's going to bother me. I had a good point. Anyhow, it's just, that's what I was going to say. These apps are free. I mean, there's tiers. Well, shoot, I'm a short man. I have no business being on any of these apps. It's definitely not going to work for me. I'll tell you the experiences I've had, the patterns that I've seen. But also it's a thing of, I probably should build one in time and just have it there. And actually, I do have one on OkCupid, but I didn't hook it up because it's a lot of work. So I was like, okay, I just set it up so I have my account name. I have a good name too. Not my name, but my username. I think it's good. I can't say it on anything. I don't want to put it out there. These apps are free. That information is going to be used. How is it kept free? They have to use these to sell to a demographic or advertise to a demographic. So I'm not going to, I don't want to pick on anybody, but it's like, I don't think they thought this through. So, okay, that's that. But here's basically where I'm going to end this video. We're getting it from both sides. I think I can end it right there. Yeah, we're getting it from both sides. So I think right there you can kind of see where there's no winning. You can't win. You can't win. I mean, yeah, you could come up with a plan and things like that. You know what I mean? You could try to outsmart or, I mean, the only thing to do is persevere, really. But it's like there's no winning. And that's rough. I mean, that doesn't really happen for anybody, where it's like now you have, both parties against you. It's not like you have one party that has an issue and you can go for refuge to one. No, they both don't like you. The science is there, and then you're seeing what people are saying. So again, you know who I'm talking to. I'm only talking to a specific group in this, but I just wanted to put that cherry on top, just to really bring home the point. And I also just saw this. All right, so anyhow, that's all. A lot that I wanted to get into, but also it has to be said. Just have to put it out there, and it just has to be broken down. So it can be a proper discussion if people want to talk. There's that too. All right. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the rest of your day.